Hi folks, this is Jason and hope you are okay today. It's good to be with you, and I just want to make an announcement that this is my new channel where it will be my base, and I will be hopefully staying on this channel and just trying to be me and to enjoy my YouTube career. And I just want to share with you and please, if you haven't subscribed, this is near the end of March, and I have 15 or more, less subscribers. So if you want to subscribe, please subscribe. It would be great if you would subscribe and give me your support. And if the subscriber rate goes up, and there's many subscribers on here, and it's back to 3,000 or more, hallelujah. But at the time of making this video, I only have 15 subscribers. But a few months ago, I had 3,000 subscribers. I had a very strong following, but I had to close the channel down because of cyberbullying. This channel became so powerful that I was constantly being harangued by Thunderf00t, Aaron DPR Jones, the fundamentally flawed crew, and in the end it came to the point where the stress was so much that we had a big controversy because I beat in debate Thunderf00t's mate DPR Jones, and the atheist community got in a real spin about it and were really upset about it, to the point where they could only fight back not by actually arguing with me and actually organizing more debates, but they stooped to the most lowest way of debating, which was to accuse the other person of cheating. So they accused me of cheating in the debate, of plagiarizing, when I'd actually made it quite clear the arguments that I was using. Underneath the video I gave all the source material that I was actually using. So these charges were fallacious, but the point of the matter is this, is that Thunderf00t and his mates allowed me to be picked off by a horde, a tsunami of vicious atheists who just wanted me off the internet because I beat DPR Jones. And so what the atheist community began to do is they began to, instead of actually debating me, they actually began to talk about my depression. And every chance they got, they would talk about depression. Jason, you're depressed, and all the rest of it. And they produced many videos about this issue to give the impression that this was all that was about Jason. But actually, if you looked at my channels, other channels that I had, there's many videos on scholarship, preaching, etc. But they wanted to give an impression that somehow this person was sort of mentally sick, and so they began to develop these videos and shows where they would actually get me on, and they wouldn't actually talk about arguments and debate, but they would actually allow talk about depression. Now, Thunderf00t at this time last year in 2013 rang me up on Skype, and Aaron rang me up, and Hogtie Champ said that, made it public that I'd actually rang his wife when it wasn't true, and there was all these kind of backwards and forwards, and I kind of like took it in tongue-in-cheek, but it got to a point where I promised a paper for Aaron, and I produced a small paper to test the waters, and Aaron was unable to engage with it, and he ran away. And Thunderfoot took up the cudgels to argue about the resurrection, and his argument was so childish. It wasn't worth actually dealing with. He and his counterpart didn't even know who N.T. Wright was. But the point is this: that my channel was gaining in a powerful apologetic. On this channel, there was 2,000 scholarly videos of many hours of research that I made, and the channel was causing atheists a big problem because it was attracting a lot of attention. I had 3,000 subscribers, I had a strong following, and it was causing them some deep problems. So when I had so it all culminated after Aaron Ra running away from an actual academic debate, being scared. After DPR Jones having an academic debate where he got his butt kicked. After Thunderf00t tried to stand up against my arguments against the resurrection and completely failed abysmally. After them ringing me up time and time again on Skype, and then Octai cheekily saying I phoned his wife up, which was absolutely nonsense, we get a massive other controversy that the atheists spring up, because then they accuse me of plagiarism. They used New Covenant Group, which is a liberal Christian group, which they're not actually Christian. They had a show at Christmas where they completely ripped me. Christopher Mort absolutely ripped into me. Ozzy, one of Thunderf00t's mates, ripped into me. They all ripped into me, saying that I plagiarized, and they never gave me a chance to actually come back at them. I was not invited on any show, and they had a massive fest of ripping into me and basically cyberbullying me, really, because I wasn't able to answer them back because they didn't give me an opportunity. And Thunderf00t sat back and allowed his mates to rip into me, and never stood up and said, you know, Jason should have his right to answer. You know, we're sticking up for DPR Jones, and he was not willing to stick up for fair free speech. So then I ended up making a video where I rip into Alauton because he and his fundamentally flawed show, they've been intellectual terrorists, the way they've been treating people. And I say things I shouldn't have said about his wife, which I've apologized 3 times, and they keep going on about it. But I actually apologized 3 times, and the thing is, people connected to these people, people who go on their show, phone me up. People who go on commentating on their show phoned me up and began to threaten me. And I received at least 10 threats. Now this got me really depressed. Really depressed. And I ended up putting a video up saying, in order for these people to leave me alone, I've committed suicide, leave me alone. And I realized how stupid it was, and I pulled the video down within an hour. Now the thing is this: the atheist community, and Thunderf00t has been aware of this, Aaron Ra, DPR Jones, they've all supported this. There was these atheists that set up sock accounts where they were collecting my videos, old videos. And so the atheists now have 3 or 4 channels where there's thousands and thousands of videos. I mean literally thousands of videos. And basically they've got thousands of videos, and this sock account, one of these sock accounts, which incidentally sent me a threat 2 weeks ago, more cyberbullying. But anyhow, basically, I went on this archive channel that was pretending to be me, and I said, look, I've taken this video down, I'm fine. But then they went and uploaded it on their channel, and they kept it up for over 12 hours, maliciously making people think that this about this video, and I said, look, this video has been pulled down. It's not me who's got it up. It's the atheist. It's the atheists that have got the video up. And basically, the police said, look, if they're being like that with you, just leave them alone. Just get on and just don't have anything to do with YouTube if they're going to be doing that kind of thing. Then 2 weeks later, Jim Gardner, a well-known atheist, and other atheists who were connected to him, organized the police and the doctor to try and get me sectioned. And I was brought in by my doctor under false pretenses. The doctor said to me, come in for a checkup. I went in and she was talking about, don't make any videos against atheists or you could be sectioned. Don't debate me. Don't debate me pretending to be me. I'll commit suicide. I'll top myself. I'll top myself. And everyone was laughing. And after that, I didn't want anything to do with the atheist. And Alex Bolton and Jim Gardner kept stalking me. Lenny kept stalking me. Come in a sec. Yeah, in a second, come in. And they kept stalking me, and I said I don't want to talk to them. And eventually, it came to the point where Live Life came on a show, and on the Awesome Crew show, and basically said I could kill that. He said that I could kill people, that I'm that mentally unbalanced. And at that point, I thought enough's enough. I've got to step in. So I went on the show, the Awesome Crew show, and I was friendly, and they were having a laugh. I apologized for whatever I've said, wanted to apologize for them, but they never actually acknowledged the hurt, the pain, and the suffering that they caused me and the cyberbullying that they'd done. And I was so friendly with them. I took my t-shirt off because they took their t-shirt off, and we were having a laugh, and I really tried my best. And then the next day I went on a show with Captain Awesome, and there was something wrong with my Google Hangout. I couldn't be on their show, and I had to come off, but I was still listening in, and they were talking about my depression, about the doctor, about the police, and they didn't know anything. They didn't know the details because they weren't there. They didn't realize I was listening in. I came back on. I said, look, I've tried my best, and you're just stabbing me in the back again, and I left. The point is that Thunderf00t knows DPR Jones, he knows Ozzy, he knows Aaron Ra, he knows these people. I've made videos to him, pleading with him. I even put ketchup on me to your people are cyberbullying me. I'm coming, Naomi. I'll come in a second. And so, at the end of the day, Thunderf00t, you have how many subscribers? 100,000. In the making of this video, I have 15 subscribers. On this channel, there used to be 3,000 subscribers. I can't go on any channel without being cyberbullied. I can't go any show without Lenny, without Captain Awesome, without Jim Gardner, Alex Bolton, and some of these atheists following me around. And at the end of the day, you know about this. You have influence. And you need to have a word with these people, and you need to tell people that you believe in freedom of speech, and that Jason should have freedom of speech and be allowed to continue his activities unmolested and free. That if anybody accuses me of anything or says anything, I should be given the opportunity to come on Google Hangouts to answer those accusations. And we should be sticking to arguments and debate and discussion on logical arguments. Even last night I went on Redline's channel. I had a brilliant time with some of the atheists debating and discussing, and I had a great time. But there was still some people on there, specifically one, who was using emotive language and trying to cause controversy about personal issues when all they needed to do was concentrate on argument. And some of the people on there behaved exceedingly well, atheists who gave great arguments, and that's the way it needs to be. Lenny came on there and he said, you don't feel threatened, do you, or something like that. And actually I did, but it was a very difficult situation because I was enjoying the conversation. I didn't want to leave, but he followed me around again. And I think that there comes a point where there are some of these atheists at Thunderf00t, like Lenny, Captain Awesome, Jim Gardner, Alex Borton, people like that, and DPR Jones, where they're obsessed with me, and they need to take a reality check and chill out, and they need to have a relax, take some coffee, go for a walk, or do something, and realize that, and stop being obsessed with me. And you need to encourage people to come on this channel and build my subscriber base to back to 3,000. And you need to get those channels closed down. YouTube, Thunderf00t, you need to ask the atheist community to close those channels down because they're abusive. One of them sent me a threat only 2 weeks ago, and so these channels have to close down, and I have to be given my freedom. So Thunderf00t, you can talk about feminism, you can go on about science, but this is about free speech. I'm asking you to make a public statement that you believe that I should have free speech, and encourage people to allow me to have free speech. And I'm asking you to tell your mate DPR Jones and these other people to say, back off, let him have his space, and let him get on and do his thing. I'm all for critiquing me. Critique me, whatever you want to do. Critique me, argue against me. But when my auntie was dying, I was being attacked verbally, and the atheist community tried to get me sectioned, Thunderf00t, and I've lost 3,000 subscribers. I've said sorry to Kat and Alex, and it's time that the atheist community let it go and let me get on and give me my subscribers back. Encourage people to subscribe to this channel and let me have my free speech back and let me have a base without being abused. And so it's over to you, Thunderf00t. If you don't do anything, I've asked you 3 times, and 3 times you've ignored me, and each time the atheists have taken it and then used that to abuse me. That video I made with Ketchup, they've used that to abuse me when I was pleading with you, crying my heart out to you, Thunderf00t, for your help, because you have influence, and you can say to these people, look, just chill out, let him get on, and he's not a bad guy. We might disagree with him, but he does have freedom of speech, and we can't be harassing him like this. And that's what I'm asking. Okay? Thanks, Thunderf00t. If you don't do it, you're involved in cyberbullying as well. Enough's enough. Leave the guy alone. You need to make a public statement. That public statement has to be that Jason has the freedom of speech. And that's all I'm asking, is for my freedom of speech. I don't have a channel where I can call a home. I've lost 3,000 subscribers. I've had my home turned upside down because of some of these atheists. I'm constantly being followed around by some of these atheists whenever I go on Google Hangouts. And I just feel, Thunderf00t, that the atheist community, when I went on Redline, I had a decent, rational discussion. I went on the Captain Awesome show, and I think it was one of the best shows ever. We had a great laugh, and that's the way it's got to stay. Having a laugh, having some fun, and doing rational debates, and stop getting into the personal cyberbullying stuff. That it has to stop. And you have to take a lead and recognize within your culture, within your group, within your communities, there are groups that are cyberbullies and cyberbullying. And you've got to come out, just like you did with the feminist. you've got to come out and you've got to say something about it. And you've got to make a public statement that whether they're Christian or whether they're atheist, that you don't agree with cyberbullying and that you want rational discussion and that we should maintain discussion and debate. And Thunderf00t, think about this. But do you think it was right for Thunderf00t to say that Jason Burns could go out and kill people? That is cyberbullying. That is below the belt. That's where the line has been crossed. Do you think it's right, Thunderf00t, when Jason Burns' auntie's dying, that atheists begin to attack him? Do you think it's right, Thunderf00t, that wherever Jason goes, he keeps getting DMCA'd or threats where and then he loses his subscribers, where he's accused and he's not allowed to answer those accusations, where he's hunted down, where to the point where he's now had to come back to an old channel where there's only 15 subscribers to make a new start on YouTube? Do you think that's right? Well, I've only got 15 subscribers. I'm a nobody on YouTube. But if you have any heart, if you have any compassion, if you really do care, then I would ask you to step in. And I'm not after fame. The day they tried to get me sectioned, Thunderf00t, was the day it was all over for me. It really, really was. The day that happened, the atheist community crossed the line. It's not about fame. I just want the right to come back on YouTube and just do my scholarly videos on the resurrection and preach the gospel, and to make videos every now and again on atheism without fear of being sectioned. That's all I'm asking. So it's not about fame. It's about one human being coming to another human being. You have influence. You know some of these people, and some of these people that you know can have an influence on these other people who are specifically following me around. And I'm asking that you step in and at least have the courage, the conviction, the kindness, the compassion, and the care, and say no. Jay does get depressed sometimes, and if you're going to keep doing all this, have all these soccer accounts attacking him and making threats and all cyberbullying, following him around, you're going to make him more depressed, and that's not fair. Jay's happier when he's having rational discussion. He's happy when he's having a laugh. He's happy when he's preaching. He's happy when he's doing his resurrection videos. And by the way, Jay's auntie is still in hospital. And Thunderf00t, my latest news on my auntie is she had an operation. She was getting better, but only yesterday, my auntie's fallen seriously ill again, where she has to have another operation. So I don't need all this stuff, Thunderf00t. I need compassion. I need your support. I need you to help me to get my subscriber base back to 3,000, and I need you to rehabilitate me and say no. Whatever he said, he's apologized. He needs his freedom, and he needs the right to be able to be free. And we have, as a community, we've said things, we've done things that we shouldn't have done to him, and we call it a draw and let the guy come back and get on and be free. And so it's over to you, bro. And I know that deep down that you are a decent person. I don't believe that you're a cyberbully at heart. I believe that there's been misunderstanding, and I'm hoping that you can sort this misunderstanding out, because I believe that you have a good heart. I believe that you're a fair person. I believe that you are a compassionate person, and I really do believe that, Thunderf00t. So I'm asking you, Thunderf00t, to give me a lift up. I'm asking you to step in and really just give me the space. By you stepping in and speaking out and saying something, if it's only just let Jay have freedom of speech, you're putting a ring around me and saying, look, give him his space. Let him have his space. And so it's over to you, okay? Please pass this video around. There's no copyright on this video. No one will be DMCA'd. If you want to pass this video around, use this video, but please link to this channel if you're going to use the video. This is the new base of Jason Burns, Atheist Examined. I don't want a controversy. I just want the freedom to be me, the freedom to come on an atheist show every now and again and debate and discuss, a freedom to treat each other with dignity, a freedom of peace in my own home, a freedom in when going through difficulty with my auntie to be allowed to have the peace and tranquility in such a difficult situation, and the freedom to be able to do academic videos and preaching and have a base which is not going to get attacked, and the freedom to represent myself in a fair way and not to be ganged up on by 4 soccer accounts and one of them sending me a threat, the freedom to not be followed around, the freedom to not have people completely obsessed about me, but just the freedom to be able to continue in a way that is productive. If you don't think I'm productive, go on Redline's show last night and look at the discussion that I had with them. I was outnumbered 6-1, and I treated everybody with respect, and I had a good discussion. If you don't think I'm balanced and friendly, go and have a look at Captain Awesome's show, where it says the real Jason Burns, and how I had such a good laugh with you, atheist. Fighting militant atheism prior to 2013. But every now and again, I'd like to go on a Google Hangout and just say hello and have a discussion. I don't want to get into the major ideological battles that we had prior to 2013. That's where it's at, Thunderf00t. And so please, if anyone knows Thunderf00t, if you could pass this video to him. And I particularly feel that you need to do this because when you're getting people like Live Life now saying that I could kill people and the rest, I think that that's the time when enough's enough, and you've got to step up the mark, and you got to as a community be a place where you provide safe, rational discourse. And take care.